Matt, through 10 games now, it's sometimes it isn't style points, and sometimes you play great and get beat, but you're 8-2. And I asked some of the guys when they came in, how important was that second half of the Siena game? Coming back from there with 1-2 better than, and now you've gone on 1-2 games. How important, looking at the big picture right now, how important was that?
It's very important. Anytime you can be down that much in the second half and be able to come back and win, I think it gives your team confidence. And we've been in some close games and had some success. Obviously, most of them are at home. But hopefully you can build, off it. We've had some different people play well in those games. And so I thought today it was a big game for Bryson Scott, especially just keeping his poise late in the game and being able to knock down some clutch free throws.
Coach, what was the thinking on giving him this first career start?
Ronnie was late to practice.
So no ability like Bryson brought this to us. So.
Even though he did.
You want to expound on that? What he brings to what Bryson?
Oh, he, for Bryson, he brings a lot of energy, and playing hard, just trying to help him transition as a point guard and sometimes as an off guard, just the nuances of the game and hanging your hat on that. He always comes out and competes, but you have to learn to attack defenses differently depending on style of play, and then you have to learn that you can't go every time. It's not there for you to drop every single time. You got to be able to pick your spots, and it's a process, and it does take time. But he's gotten frustrated at times, and then through frustration, I think he's made some strides by watching tape and talking to us. But it's hard for him. He wants to get out there and play more. And today he got an opportunity to do so, and he helped us win a game. It was great on his part.
AJ and Jay just had a combined 4 shots today.
Mm-hmm.
Just how much did that 2-3 zone frustrate what you tried to do in the post?
Well, I think they did a really good job of keeping the ball out of their hands. But once again, we got to do a better job of our guards getting them to them, I thought, especially in the second half right in front of me. Sometimes it's hard for me to see things in the first half. After you watch tape, you can obviously do a better job of assessing what really happened. But I thought our guards didn't do a great job of getting them the ball in the second half. But when they do get them the ball, they've collapsed on. There's a reason why people zone us. Obviously, Eastern Michigan zones all the time. But there's a reason why people zone us, because they're trying to neutralize those guys and keep them out of the mix.
Were you content with how your team handled that zone from an offensive perspective? In the first half, did Kendall shooting just kind of cover up whatever?
Well, I thought Kendall really helped us to start with. He takes a couple shots, that are ill-advised in the first half. He just liked to have those possessions back. And in the second half, he had about 3 possessions that way. I told him it's not hot potato. You have to probe the defense and get a good shot for Purdue, and then you sub back in and do the same thing. So he's got to learn. Just because you're a good shooter doesn't give you the right, just to take a shot whenever you want it. And but he does stretch the defense for us in a zone. But we just have to have more discipline and more patience.
Matt, freshman combined, or the true freshman combined for 37 of your team's 69 points. Is there strong play just kind of becoming a trend for you guys? And also, the effort and the energy they bring, is that something you can really just kind of count on every game?
I hope so. You always can have good effort and have a good attitude, and there's some things you can't control. So, Basil gives us a lot of energy. I think he's really played well here the past couple of weeks and done some good things, defensively for us. And, we spoke about Bryson and what he was able to accomplish tonight, and Kendall was able to stretch the defense. And I know Jay's not a true freshman, but in terms of experience, this is his first year playing, and he's done some good things for us.
And 2 more.
2 things, just to clarify. You say Ronnie was late today, or was that earlier? Okay. And you've said before you don't really worry about who's starting the game as much as who's finishing the game. Obviously, Bryson was still out there finishing the game and came up big with the free throws and stuff. Was that based on anything about him that you saw either today or just in general?
No, I just thought he played better. I thought Bryson, obviously Ronnie had an opportunity to play, and I just thought Bryson was more productive, and then he did some good things defensively in that last stretch, and then he was able to knock down his free throws, and we just stayed with him just because we thought he was more productive throughout the course of the game.
Matt, prior to the last 3.5 minutes, obviously your team struggled quite a bit from the free throw line. Just the frustration with that, and you always talk about if it happens once, it might be an outlier, but if it happens a lot, it's kind of who you are. And
Right.
do you just get the sense at this point that, maybe you're just not a good free throw shooting team?
Well, you gotta keep working on it. It's not something, Basil knocks down a couple. AJ Hammons can shoot better than 4 for 7. A lot of times when you have this, it's not one guy missing a lot, Terrell missed 3. It's multiple people like missing 1. Then obviously it adds up. Kendall goes 2 for 3, Sterling goes 1 for 2, Ronnie goes 0 for 1, Eric Peck goes 1 for 2, and Rayfeld goes 1 for 3. So, you just dealt with 6 people and 5 of them missed 1, and 1 guy missed 2. So, but it adds up, it accumulates. So we have to do a better job of just being consistent and being able to knock them down. But you're right, that's who you become if, you keep collecting, data. Now we're through 10 games. We have to do a better job.
AJ, last year at this time, you guys, I think, were 4-6, and that game up in Eastern Michigan, if you remember, was not a pretty one. How do you feel? You guys are 8-2. That's a 4-game improvement over where you were at this time last year. Are you comfortable with where you are, or still very much a work in progress?
Well, I'm somewhat comfortable where I am, but we still got to keep getting better. But, we just keep working on things, getting the freshmen more involved with everything. So we just got to keep pushing, really. But we're not satisfied.
Bryson, you guys have struggled at the foul line until the last 3.5 minutes. I think you guys made 12 of 14. You made obviously the majority of yours. How did everybody kind of find that focus at the end to finish the game off? I guess I'm asking you since you shot most of the free throws.
When I noticed that they were trying to make a comeback, I just wanted to concentrate more, be more focused at the line, and knock them down for my team. If I wasn't to knock them down, they would have had a chance to, maybe pull one out on us. So my mindset was just go to the line, concentrate, knock it down.
Just, I guess for whoever wants to take this, just what was the difference from one half to the next in terms of being able to find offense? It seemed like things were a little bit more difficult in the second half.
I take it. I think we just got down on ourselves a little bit. They came out a little hype and got a couple little baskets, so we just down ourselves. Had a couple turnovers, which we just needed to work on, but after that we just picked it up and then just tried to get more defensive as offensive come.
Kendall, what do you want the identity of you guys as freshmen to be, and how are you seeing things pay off? And I mean, you had 4 freshmen starting today. Just what are you seeing from this group overall?
We just have a lot of potential just to do our jobs, and that's what Coach Painter talks about. So, they have a lot of trust in us being freshmen, and with that, we got to make sure we're staying on our game and doing what the team needs. But yeah, I think we have a great freshman class. The sky's the limit for us.
Bryson, it seemed, and maybe I'm reading into this because I've watched it for so long, but it seemed like you were trying to be a distributor early in the game. And, you passed up a shot, you had a great shot, you passed up to Basil for a cut. But then later on in the game, when it was really crunch time, it seemed like you were being more aggressive offensively. Is that accurate to say?
Yeah. I was just, at first, I've had meetings from Orlando and till here, with Coach Painter, just trying to become more of a distributor, more of a point guard, a guy that, I don't have to force the issue a whole bunch. Because, I know that they know that I can score, so why don't I try to do something different? So that was my mindset coming into the game, try to keep under control, give a lot of assists out, and be aggressive down the stretch.
Back to Rex, this is Basil. He gets mad at people.
Oh, okay, my guy. What did I say?
He said Basil.
Did I?
Kendall, you guys, you were down in Florida. You lost those first 2 games, and you're down double digits in the second half against Siena. And that coming back in retrospect, now you're going into finals. How big was that second half at Siena, getting you guys some energy to get to 8-2 as opposed to maybe dropping your heads a little bit? Could you just talk about the significance of that and bringing it to 8-2 now?
Yeah, Coach said in the locker room at halftime, he said it's gut check time versus that Siena team. And, we pulled out a win, and it was ugly. And, I think that set the tone as far as we can't be taking no teams for granted. We're not as good as what we think we are. And you just gotta respect every opponent that we're going against. And, you know, we got a great team coming up in Butler that we need to get ready for, and that we just need to take more pride in ourselves and our defense, and getting wins and playing as a team.
Bryson, you know, Coach Painter said he doesn't care so much about who's starting, it's more about who's in at the end of the game. But I assume it probably does mean something to you to get that start tonight. So maybe I guess talk about both those situations, that the confidence that you get from being chosen to start, and then what it means to you that he trusts you to be on the floor at the end.
When he told me I was starting, I was just trying to just be more focused, and it meant a lot because, you know, I wanted to prove that I could start and be a potential starter here. But Ronnie does a great job. I'm not against Ronnie or nothing, but that's what I want to do. And being in at the end of the game, you know, I wanted to show him that he could trust me down the stretch, and show him that I can be aggressive and be under control down the stretch of the game. So.
We'll go two more with Chris and then Brian.
Bryson, I mean, end of the game there, I mean, you're taking the ball a lot of times, trying to get to the hoop, trying to make plays. I mean, as a freshman, I mean, what's your mindset, especially because you are so new to the college game, what's your mindset when you're trying to make these plays happen and win a game?
I'm just trying to find my teammates, really. I'm just trying to get them open shots and be aggressive. Painter wants me to use that my aggression and drive to the basket, try to find open guys. And you know, that's what I try to do. I just try to do my job. I don't try to do nothing out of the norm. So.
Guys, just for whoever wants to take this too, they seem so problematic from a defensive standpoint. Is this just kind of one of those games you just want to get the win and get out of here? In the sense that it can be so hard to score sometimes, you don't really care how it looks at the end.
Yeah, they had you got to give them credit. You know, they had a good 2-3 zone, and they were out in the passing lanes and made it difficult for us. And it came with a lot of energy in the second half. And, you know, it's one of those games where you're right. You know, they kind of do make you play a little bit uglier. You're not getting the same looks that you would against a man-to-man team. And I think we did a great job of just pulling this one out. You know, we got out-rebounded, which wasn't good. But I think we made plays that we needed to win the game.
We'll take one more in the back.
This is for Bryson and Kendall. I guess for both of you guys, what is the most important thing to playing well as a freshman? Maybe the attitude and the mindset you have to have going into every game, especially early in the year.
Well, for me, you know, my job is to take good shots, and you know, I did pretty poorly on that in the second half. And, you know, it's not going to happen again for me. But that's really what Coach Painter expects out of us is to just do your job, do what he expects you to do, and what your strengths are. And he's not going to put you in bad positions. You know, he puts his players in good positions, and it's just up to us, you know, to work on our game, listen to what he has to say, and go out and do it.
Thanks, guys.